Just a different type of challenge, absolutely. A week ago it was done with a bunch of different personnel groups and a lot of plays out of those personnel groups. This week it's going to be a lot of plays out of the same personnel group, but you're going to get unbalanced. You're going to get wildcat. You're going to get empty. You're going to get some formations that you'd never see or prepare for. So it's and it's also the challenge of working in 4 days of prep instead of whatever it was, 8 or 9. So it's that's we're going to get a good barometer of where we're at right now this week.
How good is this quarterback?
I think he's really good. I think they put a lot in his hands. They put a lot in his hands as far as the RPO stuff goes. Him getting the ball in the right place, run game or pass game. I think he extends plays in the pass game. He's difficult to, even though I think sometimes they give up a little bit of leakage up front, he gets out of the pocket. He makes things happen. He's got a lot of moxie to him. He's a dude.
What was the process like to get the three-man front ready this offseason?
It was an exhausting process. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of thought, a lot of drawing things, looking at things, study of others. It was it wasn't something that we just put together overnight. I'll say that. And then through spring practice, it was something that we learned as we went a little bit, and certainly appreciate Coach Messingham and all those guys do because of the challenges they present for us. Built a lot of rules and things off of some things that we saw from them. But it was, and I think it's still an evolving process. I think there's still a lot of more depth that we can get into with it, but it's been good so far.
Do you feel like it caught them by surprise a little bit?
It's funny because they probably blocked it the way I would think somebody would block it. I don't think they knew that that's what we were going to be identity-wise, but I do think they had some decent answers to it a little bit, and I think we had some good counters to their answers.
Was it the plan going in to go so much 3 down versus 4?
Yes, early, and then it just kind of was flowing, and we just stuck with it. I don't know if we were going to do as much as we did, but we did, and it was and we had success with it all the way to the end.
You guys were flying around. How big was this emotionally for you guys to get off the kind of start you were?
I think our guys are eager to establish their identity, and I think step one of that is done. Now what's the encore performance going to be? And we're going to find out how mature of a group we have this week. I think the preparation's been good. It hasn't been easy, but it's been good. And, they're going to be defined by what we do each Saturday, not by what happened on September the 4th. And so I think they understand that, so we'll see how it goes.
What do you hope that identity ends up being?
I just hope we play really hard. I hope we're sound. I hope we can get 11 sets of cleats in the ground on every snap and we play fast and physical. And if we do that, we're going to have success no matter what kind of front we're running.
Ideally, would you like to go back and forth between the 3 and 4 all season?
Yes. Yep. I think we've got good personnel up front, good enough to play 4 down. I think our guys are very comfortable in that. And I'd love to be able to have both at our disposal at all times.
Kind of limited blitz packages last week. You got forced the East interception with the blitz. Is that pretty much the package going in?
That's something that we probably didn't do as much last week as maybe we will moving forward. It's blitzing out of 3 downs a little bit easier to do, I think, because of the shell that you can hold in the back end. Maybe tip your hand a little bit more when you're in 4 down people, but it's I think that I think that's philosophically just last week where we were. I think they had a lot of good receivers that were able to play one-on-one ball, and we saw that a couple of times, and I think that we wanted to fit the runs and just be sound with our stuff, so we didn't bring as much gas maybe last week as we may moving forward.
A lot of the enthusiasm we saw, reaction from big plays. Is that something you guys have?
Oh yeah.
Or just let them go?
Yeah, no, I think that I always want these guys to set an NCAA record for fun that they can have in a career here, and I think that that's your 3 hours a week that you get to put us on display, not you, not as an individual, but us collectively. And I was proud of how they celebrated with each other, celebrated each other's success. Guys that played limited snaps, we talked about this week as a staff, still had a huge role in the game. A Reggie Stubblefield that may have only played 11 snaps in the game, gets a huge PBU that probably, was a huge momentum deal in that game. And I think guys are comfortable with the roles they're in. Those roles are going to be ever evolving, but I think maybe more than ever since we've been here, I think guys are playing less selfishly and more team defense, which is what we want to be.
Coach Klanderman said Tuesday he thought maybe this team is the best reverse team in the country. Is this like the most you guys have ever gone and practice against reverses
Just
every week?
Yeah, just incredible. The amount of gadgets and things that they have in reverse is certainly one of those. I've never seen a team that you're going to see 3 or 4 a game, and so it's going to test our rules and principles to be sure.
Coach Klanderman mentioned Daniel Green was somebody that really popped to him when he looked at the film. What did you think about him?
He was outstanding. I thought Daniel Green was outstanding. I thought Cody Fletcher was outstanding as a linebacker core, just flying around. Just Daniel just doing his job, but also some of the effort plays he made were sensational. And some of the things that maybe you won't see on a stat sheet. I know they threw a little check down to the back and we missed a tackle in the flat, and he's the guy that tackles it for 11. And he was a blitzer on the play, and just redirecting and making an effort play that. You look at the stat sheet, you see Daniel Green tackle, but you don't know how impressive that is that for him to change direction and get in on that. He played really well.
How tough of a call was that on the one who got ejected?
Tough to get upset. It was certainly not a malicious deal. That's just the rule of college football, and I know sometimes it's sometimes it's just luck of the draw, to be honest with you. If the receiver ducks his head and we kind of are getting ourselves in a position at the same time, helmet contact can occur, and I understand the rule. I understand it's there to eliminate the malicious play. Sometimes we're a victim of the circumstance, and that was one of those deals, and so it is what it is.
Coach, what did you think about the pass rush, and specifically how nice was it just to be able to rotate bodies in and out there?
We were definitely fresh up front. I thought the pass rush was awesome. I just some of the rushes were individual on an individual basis. I know Khalid Duke's sack was one of the better rushes that you're going to see all year in any game. I mean, it was just for him to split 2 offensive linemen and make a play when we needed it. Eli Huggins' sack was a big one in a big moment when we were on the fringe of the red zone. And I think that's part of what we want to do with that package is cut our D-line loose and let those guys get after the quarterback a little bit.
When it comes to your pass coverage, is that something that you may have not liked as much on the rewatch?
We just didn't finish well at the top of routes. When you look at some of the fade balls that got caught, there were 3 of them, and I thought the DB was in good position in all 3. I mean, I don't know that you'd coach that any differently. I think that you can coach the finish differently. I don't think we located the ball very well. I don't think we put enough body pressure on the wideout, and I think we can be better at the top of the routes. But I don't think we were bad at the line of scrimmage or anything like that. I thought I don't think it's far off.
Who do you expect will start at linebacker in the first half with Daniel sitting?
Likely Nick Allen.
I know it's just
Time
one.
for a couple more.
I know it's just one game in, but so far so good with you being back on the sideline. Did you get what you wanted to out of that change?
Yeah, I felt comfortable. I felt that I don't know, I felt connected to the guys, and I thought I thought it, there wasn't a ton of adversity in that game, so it wasn't like it was us putting out fires all the time. But I think I felt good. I feel better about it now than I did last week at this time.
Are you gonna be able to get more out of J-Mac this week?
Yes. Yep. I think he looks better this week in practice, healthier. He played 21 snaps, I think it was, in the game. I think we'll be able to get him full speed this week.